Blade dealers for that today.
KTAB, keeping tab on Abilene and the Big Country. This is News Tab with Bob Bartlett, Diane Dotson, Bill Chaney, and David Dieken. News Tab is the most watched news team in Abilene and the Big Country.
There was a farmer driving down the road, the county road, on a tractor, and observed him in the bar ditch.
Jones County Sheriff Mike Middleton hopes to have more leads tomorrow in a murder investigation. Good evening. Middleton hopes autopsy results expected tomorrow will give investigators some clues.
The body of a man was found in a bar ditch off a county road near Nugent about 11 Sunday morning. The body was found by a farmer passing by on a tractor. Investigators don't believe the body had been in the bar ditch very long based on the decomposition. Middleton says little physical evidence was found at the crime scene.
We've had several calls from people today with missing person, this kind of thing, and so far none have matched. And we're still awaiting the results of the autopsy and just waiting, following up all the leads that are called in.
Middleton described the man as white, 35 to 45 years old, 5 feet 7 inches tall, 150 pounds, with brown hair.
District Court Judge Jess Holloway will decide on whether to move a highly publicized sexual assault trial from Abilene, perhaps as soon as next week. State District Court Administrative Judge Weldon Kirk of Sweetwater made that ruling last week after 104th District Judge Billy John Edwards took himself off the John Henry Mitchell change of venue hearing. Edwards said he could not continue to hear the case because members of his office staff assisted the district attorney's office in calling witnesses in the hearing on June 2nd. Mitchell, who police tagged the South Side rapist, says he can't get a fair trial in Taylor County because of a similar previous conviction. Abilene police are investigating the burglary of Maxwell Municipal Golf Course clubhouse. The burglars smashed a hole through an exterior wall and then into a safe. News Tab's Ron Rasu has details.
A gardener arrived at Maxwell Municipal Golf Course early today and found a hole in the west side of the clubhouse building. Someone had punched a hole through the cinder block wall and through the safe kept inside the clubhouse.
We do have a hole in the safe where they could have reached in, but someone scared them off before they got any money out of the safe.
Pierce says he believes the arriving golf course employee may have frightened the burglars away. The burglars apparently left hurriedly. A cutting torch and some hand tools were found at the scene.
It looked very well planned. It's possible that they were frightened off early in the morning during the process of doing this. That's why they left all their tools behind.
The burglars were able to avoid detection from the burglar alarm system at the clubhouse. The burglars also knew exactly where on the exterior wall to punch a hole through to the safe. The golf course proprietors say the burglars failed to get anything of value. They say most of the cash is deposited at least once per day and sometimes even more frequently. There was, however, one casualty from this morning's break-in.
When I came in, there was still a fish flopping on the floor right there by the safe. They must have got some water out of the creek there to cool down the safe, but there was a fish in there.
The city of Abilene owns the facility. The American Golf Corporation operates the course. The early morning break-in did not interrupt anybody's tea time. This is Ron Rasu, News Tab.
Taylor County Sheriff Jack Dieken pitched his budget request to county commissioners today during a budget workshop. News Tab's Janice Cochran reports that some can be handled with this year's funds, including one very important need.
Commissioners believe they can shuffle this year's funds to allow some temporary measures at the jail to ease overcrowding. After an unfavorable inspection by the state earlier this month, Sheriff Jack Dieken and Jail Administrator Captain Bill Stovall want to add beds to holding tanks in individual cells and renovate this building on jail grounds to house low-risk work crew inmates.
We could create as many as 144 beds in the existing jail to alleviate some of the overcrowding by rotating inmates more often, and we could possibly get most of the inmates off the floor.
That would only get us off the hook with the state until voters have the chance, perhaps early this fall, to approve a new jail facility. And Sheriff Dieken is hoping those plans can be expanded.
I'm hoping that we'll reconsider and look at an 800-bed capacity jail rather than a 664, because I strongly suspect that by the year 2000 or probably sooner, 664 beds could not be enough.
As for these modifications, the state will have to approve, and doing the work, mostly with inmate labor, will cost an estimated $39,000. Dieken says it's not wasted money.
Most of the things we're asking for will be online when the new jail comes. The recreation yard will stay the same. The work crew barracks will probably stay online. So we're not putting this up temporarily just to lose it.
Taylor County Commissioners won't actually be deciding what goes in and what stays out of their budget until later this summer. But in the case of the Sheriff's Department, they're going to have a lot to look at. I'll tell you about some of those requested items tonight on the Update at 10. Janice Cochran, News Tab.
Governor Ann Richards has signed into law a bill to make apartment dwellers a little safer. The Apartment Security Act requires landlords of rental units to install keyless deadbolt locks. The bill follows 2 cases in which single women apartment occupants were broken into and raped by an assailant with a stolen apartment passkey. The governor vetoed a number of bills today, including one that would have kept speeding tickets under 70 miles per hour from being reported to insurance companies.
The United States and Mexico have agreed to revise their extradition treaty to prohibit the abductions of criminal suspects. Secretary of State Warren Christopher says the U.S. will no longer condone such kidnappings as long as the treaty negotiations are underway. That would eliminate a thorn in relations between the U.S. and Mexico. In 1990, bounty hunters crossed into Mexico to grab a suspect wanted in the murder of a U.S. drug agent. Mexico accused the U.S. of violating its sovereignty in that case. The French consulate in Houston was the target of a protest today by members of the pro-life group Rescue America. A handful of picketers put up crosses in front of the building and held up signs protesting the manufacture of RU-486. Rescue America says it's appealing to the French government to stop producing the pill, and they're threatening nationwide boycotts to keep it out of this country. Similar protests were held today in Dallas and in Paris, France, to try to stop the manufacture of the abortion drug.
NASA's newest space shuttle ducked through the clouds in Florida today and raced into orbit. The space shuttle Endeavour is on its way to retrieve an important science satellite. Charles Hadlock has more on Endeavour's mission from the Johnson Space Center in Houston.
Flight crew, close and lock your
NASA's 4th shuttle flight of the year had been delayed.
Tropical Depression Arlene has left parts of southeast Texas deeply saturated this evening. Some areas are flooded. Flash flood warnings are in effect for parts of the region as far north as Montgomery and Liberty counties north of Houston and south to Starr County in far south Texas. Residents in those areas are being told to move to higher ground to escape the high water.
Bill's taking some time off. Sam is here, and I guess Arlene has something to do with the heat and humidity we have today.
A lot of moisture in the air. It's been that way for about a week now. In fact, we have some showers in the southeastern portion of KTAB country and really serious rain in East Texas. We're going to look at the radar and all sorts of good things in just a minute. Stick around. Well, we started off rather cloudy and then some sunshine broke through, and all in all, a good Monday. Let's take a look at our stats. Our high today, 90 Diane.
All right, thank you, Sam. Ahead on News Tab in sports, David tells us who wins on this first day of Wimbledon action.
I'm Dr. Red Duke. In just a moment, we'll talk about some of the different kinds of arthritis.
And the torch run speeds through Abilene as News Tab continues.
Abilene Regional Medical Center sponsors our Texas Health Report. Arthritis can be crippling and painful, causing a lot of destruction in the body. Dr. Red Duke explains.
Most of us sort of make fun of the Science Center at Houston. I'm Dr. Red Duke.
The U.S. Olympic Festival Torch Run passed through Abilene today. Abilene is just one stop on a 58-city tour that will conclude with the start of competition in San Antonio. News Tab's Ned Austin reports.
The Olympic torch is arguably the most recognized symbol in sports. And today, about 38 Abilene area residents experienced the Olympic spirit it represents firsthand. The torch is on a 41-day, 4,700-mile journey to San Antonio. There, on July 23rd, the cauldron will be lit to signify the start of the U.S. Olympic Festival, designed to showcase the best athletes in the country in non-Olympic years.
These are America's top Olympic athletes competing against each other. And I think any Olympic athlete would tell you that in many cases the most intense competition they ever face is among their teammates and vying for positions on the team. So you're going to see just some outstanding competition in San Antonio this summer.
Abilene Mayor Gary McCaleb was among those who took part in today's run. It's a run designed not only to promote the upcoming 10-day event in San Antonio, but to bring a little bit of that event to Texans.
The first thing we want to do is give everybody around Texas a chance to carry the torch, a chance to experience the Olympic spirit, to bring this most revered symbol to people. I mean, we realize that not everybody is going to get to San Antonio this summer. We hope that as many people as possibly can will, but for those other people that wouldn't come to us, we're going to come to them.
For us to have this in the state of Texas this year, San Antonio is hosting it, but to involve all the cities in Texas in the sort of the Olympic spirit is an exciting thing.
Runners today ranged in age from John Turner, alias Stubby Baldwin of KEYJ Radio, to 9-year-old Lindsey Perry. The U.S. Olympic Festival is billed as the largest multi-sport event in the world this year. Ned Austin, News Tab.
Nice to see that in Abilene. Glad they came through. Glad you're back.
Well, I wish I could say the mid-90s and a lot of sunshine.
Tonight on the Update at 10, Treasury Secretary Lloyd Bentsen is challenging Republicans to come up with a better budget plan. And President Clinton gets some questions about the man reported to be his half-brother.
Plus, we'll have all the news that hasn't happened yet. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you at 10. Good night.
Good night.
Thanks for watching News Tab at 6. Once again recognized by the Associated Press as one of the best newscasts in Texas for Division 3.